If you struggle walking your dog like I'm struggling walking this beautiful, lovely golden retriever, well, this video is gonna be for you. I'm gonna go over a very simple 3-step process on how to stop leash pulling, how to build engagement, teach your dog a structured walk. This leash pulling is absolutely crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. It's a golden retriever. I know golden retrievers can be a little soft and sweet, but this dog is a powerful puller. And she's, you know, maybe 50, 60 pounds of just muscle. So we're gonna stop this leash pulling really quickly, build engagement. It's gonna be really easy. This works with every single dog. I don't care if your dog is 10 pounds or 200 pounds, doesn't matter the breed. This will work for you if you do it properly, so stay tuned. So Orla here is, hey, stop, is absolutely impossible to manage. So before we actually get into stopping Orla from pulling on a leash, I know you guys are excited to get to it, I want to tell you a little bit about proper leash pressure and how we are going to reinforce the lack of pulling once we get there. Leash pressure is very important. If you don't use proper leash pressure, your dog will never stop pulling. This is the most important part to really leash handling any single dog. And you can see, right, if I start walking, the leash is tight. This should never happen. And to prevent this from happening, what we do is give a dog a pop. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pop. It is not a pull, it's a pop. That is how we communicate. That is the only time the leash is tight, is for the, 10th of a second that I do this, the pop. And she's on her flat collar, and some dogs are sensitive enough where we can get their attention with a flat collar, but obviously this means absolutely nothing to her. If you're in a country where a prong collar is banned, well, you're probably gonna have to use some tool like a slip lead or even a flat collar, but you're gonna have to use 100 times more pressure. It's not as fun, it's a lot harder to do. So let's get into actually stopping her from leash pulling. We have a handy dandy Herm Springer 2.25 prong collar. I also have the safety clip already hooked up. This might be a little bit of a management issue because she pulls. It's gonna be hard to get this on her. And jumps, you're so cute. All right, when you're putting your prong collar on your dog, it should ride high and snug, or it should really ride behind the ears. You wanna make sure you install it properly. What I like to do is, I like to hook it up. You can see there's 2 D-rings. I like to hook it up to just the single top D-ring. We're gonna do that with our leash. And I've already pre-done this, but we have a safety clip on too. So that way, if the prong collar fails, and when it fails, we still have Orla on a leash. The safety clip is attached from the leash just to our normal flat collar. So we always have a connection point if the prong collar fails. This is kind of a pre-step, what I'm gonna get into here. But right now, if I were to just correct Orla for pulling, she would have no outlet. She would have no way out of it. She wouldn't understand how to turn off this pressure. And right, this is gonna be different for her. I don't think she's ever been on a prong collar. So it's gonna take some understanding, and this is a quick step. It should only take, a minute or 2 tops, but we wanna get her used to what the pressure is like. And what that is we are going to use a very, very small pop, a smaller pop than we're gonna do later on. Yes! And we're gonna pay her when she gets back to me. Awesome. So this prong collar correction is not a big, mean, bad thing. It's a, hey, actually just get back here, get some food. That's it. Yes! Good. And so what we're doing here is we're just teaching her the automatic response when you feel any sort of pressure. Yes, is come back to me. And so this will take you, usually a minute or 2. If your dog's not food motivated, skip the treats, and all you can do is just work on your relationship. Give your dog correction, they get back. Yes, good. Make it exciting. You can see how her tail wags, but this is starting to teach our dog that the prong collar is not a big, bad, mean tool. Really, all it is communication, and that's all it should be. So now that we've taught our dog how to turn the pressure off, we can get into step number 1, which is sudden U-turns. This is gonna be really quick. Again, you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I am not pulling her. Good girl, yes! I'm not pulling her, I am popping. You should never pull your dog. If you're pulling your dog, you are doing something wrong, and you will not succeed with this. I'm trying to catch Orla. Yes, good! Not paying attention to me. and I'm correcting her. I'm telling her, you're doing something wrong, and she gets back to me and she gets paid. So it is really clear that that is wrong, but this is right. And these are very mild pops. This is, maybe a 2 out of 10. Good girl. So I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. I really want her to start understanding, but look at her engagement already. This is by no means fixed. We still have a little bit more to go, but yes, good. This is a great example. When your dog catches you, when you do a U-turn, and your dog catches you, you want to heavily praise that behavior. Your dog, because that's exactly what we want. We want to reinforce that behavior. We want that behavior to happen again. So how do we do that? We encourage that. We make that a fun experience. Yes, good. When she catches back up to me again, we're reinforcing this behavior. It is right versus wrong. It is very clear what's right, what's wrong. Yes, and you can see her tail's wagging. She's happy as can be. This is not a big, bad, mean training session for her. And a quick little tip when you're doing your sudden U-turns, I'll do another little U-turn and get back to you guys, is when we do a U-turn, how's it going? Nope. Yep. Come on, let's go. You don't want to do a U-turn and then your dog turn around and then you turn around. What you want it to be, I'll show you the right version, is when I correct, the second Orla gets the correction, I am already walking that way. She is really self-correcting herself. We'll give her a second to get distracted. Right, as you can see, when I correct her, yes, good. I'm already walking the other way. It's really important that you use a proper sudden U-turn. Kind of taking it easy and taking a shortcut out of it, it's just gonna take your dog longer to understand. You're gonna have to give your dog more corrections than you would otherwise need to. But look at this engagement. Good girl. Yes. She's happy. She's engaged. And you know what? We probably gave her, 4 or 5 corrections so far. We have sudden U-turns down. The second part is sudden stops. What is a sudden stop, Ethan? A sudden stop is really kind of a knockoff sudden U-turn, where once our dog understands this and they just get a little bit ahead, we can practice a sudden stop. It's the same exact thing. We stop. If the dog does not stop, we are going to correct the dog. It is not me punishing the dog. It is the dog was not paying attention to me. The dog was like, oh, look at that little leaf flying by. Oh, what? Oh, turn around. Oh, he stopped. Guess I got to pay more attention. That's all it is. And you can think of it as, this is a 4-foot leash. There's a 4-foot bubble around me. If she can go 3 feet 10 inches, 3 feet 11 inches, anywhere in this bubble, but 4 feet around this bubble, she's not allowed to penetrate that. Oh, come on, let's go. Yes, good. Yes, so I did a sudden stop there. She didn't get to the end of the leash, so I didn't need to correct, and I'm gonna heavily praise that behavior. Sudden stops, really we only need 1 or 2 corrections, and our dog will have it down. And I'm only gonna do this when she is not paying attention. She's gonna get a little complacent over time, but when she is paying attention to me, she needs to know that I'm the money man. Great things come when you're paying attention to me. It's where everything good happens, when you're paying attention to me. That's what she's starting to learn, but distractions come by. She's obviously going to get complacent and not pay attention to me. That's where we would often bring in just a sudden stop, just to kind of tighten it up a little bit. Yes. And I'm going to give her wins. When she does stop, I'm going to praise her and encourage this behavior. Let's mix in a sudden U-turn here. Good. Yes, good girl. And you can see I'm always paying her in the position that I want her to be in. I'm always paying her on my left side, right next to me. That is only where she gets payments. I'm not paying her in front, not paying her up here, not paying her behind me, paying her right where I want her to be. Goes with everything dog training. Good girl. I mean, look at this leash walking. This is absolutely awesome. Maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7 corrections. We gave her just a couple, but happy as can be, walking really, really well. The last step to the equation, and this is a quick one, is sporadic walking, where we're gonna do sudden U-turns. Yes, good girl. Good. Sudden U-turns, sudden stops, as well as changing direction, changing speed. For the first minute or 2 or 3 of this, we wanna look like a mad person. We want this to be a fun game, and when your dog's engaged with you, we'll obviously pay them and reward them. When they're not engaged with you, and they get to the end of the leash, that is where they get a mild correction. This dog is just doing awesome. If you think Orla's pretty cute, hit the like button. And so, you know, you might say, well, Ethan, this is just one training session. She doesn't know this everywhere. And yes, that is correct, right? This is not fully generalized. But if you practice this for, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 more walks, by the 4th walk, this is just going to be the automatic behavior. Might be by the 2nd walk, this is the automatic behavior. But after a couple walks and you staying consistent with this and using proper leash pressure and giving corrections when needed, your dog will always look like this when they're out on a walk on a leash. Yes, good girl. There's people walking by. This is a great next step when you're adding distractions. Nope, she's not paying attention to me. Doesn't matter if people are there. Still needs to pay attention to me. Yes, good girl. We'll do another U-turn. Come on. And so that is her falling back, and I'm giving her pressure with direction. I'm giving her pops to catch back up to me. When she catches back up to me, again, she follows the pressure. Great things happen. I don't know. I think this is it. This is pretty awesome. She is such a sweet dog, and if you struggle with this, follow all the steps really in depth. It's so important that you do everything properly. And if you do everything properly, I promise you, your dog will never, ever pull again. You know, I know a lot of people struggle with this, and, you know, this shouldn't be something that takes you 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. This should be something that takes a session or 2 or 3. And your dog has it down. Leash pulling is very easy to stop. It's balance training. It's discouraging the bad behaviors and encouraging the good behaviors. It's all really important. That's how we all live our lives, and that's how your dog should live their life too. She's happy as can be, but now knows the rules to the game. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button. Really helps us out. Watch more videos, and we'll see you in the next one.